All right.
Welcome to the Toy Rewind Podcast with your hosts, the Brothers Newland. Now, let's talk toys.
Hello, everybody. I'm Michael.
I'm John.
And I'm Andrew, and you are listening to the Toy Rewind Podcast. And I just realized I went blurry. I'm going to try to fix it. This is episode 109 of the Toy Rewind Podcast. This is just a place where the three of us like to get together and talk about toys from our childhood or your childhood. Some of these we don't know about, but a lot of them we do. We give you a history lesson, kind of talk about them, kind of rehash, bring these toys back into being talked about. So this week we're rewinding really far back, 39 years. We're going to rewind all the way back to 1984. And we're going to talk about some action figures called Infaceables that were released by Galoob. So this is I don't know much about this one, but hopefully Professor down there got a lot of stuff and gives us a good schooling.
Not much on. This is another small line that kind of came and went pretty quick, so there's not much to it. So
I mean, hey, that's right. That's all right. Before we can get into that, we got a couple things to take care of. One of them is John's business. So take it away, John.
My business? This is our business. No.
Well, it's you know what I mean.
Right. All right. So go check our websites out over at toyrewindpodcast.com, or we're on crossthestreamsmedia.com. If you go to Cross the Streams Media, you can leave us a voicemail, of course. Or any of the podcasts that you listen to on there, please do. You can email us at toyrewindpodcast@gmail.com. Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch is all Toy Rewind Pod. Facebook and YouTube are Toy Rewind Podcast. And then if you're wanting to play a little bingo game while you're listening to us, of course, go over to podcastbingo.com/Toy Rewind. And of course, if you're playing, you get a bingo or blackout or whatever. Just you can send that to us too,
Send it to us. We'll send you just send us a picture, tweet it, do whatever. And we will send you a sticker. We got stickers. Tweet. So Michael,
pin. I still got pins.
Oh, John has pins. They're the push pins, not like a rideable pin, like a push. Yeah. I want to make sure they know what kind of pin we're talking about. The second part the other thing we need to get taken care of, John, Michael, I'll let you take care of since you were the contact for all this.
Yeah,
as he coughs.
Okay. We got a present. We got a present from Aaron from Front Row Negative. He sent us all a T-shirt, and none of us know what we have.
Mine's been in a package for like 2 weeks.
Mine and John's has been in the same package now. We couldn't get all together at the same time. Me and John, since ours got sent together, we couldn't get us together at the same time. Andrew's free. So what we did was I had my wife split the shirts up. I kept one in a bag, and she put another one in a bag for John. And she didn't even look at them, but I wasn't around when she did it. So none of us have seen these shirts. So we're going to open these. We're going to open these.
I hope
here
the one
okay, well, I just thought about this. So obviously mine is meant for me because it just came to me because I'm obviously in Colorado.
Yeah.
Was there a specific one for the two of you? Do you guys? We don't know.
No. He just said there's two shirts. Y'all open up and what you get. So, so I don't know if John wants mine, we'll trade or something. But none of us know what these shirts are. So we want to thank Aaron for sending these to us because it's pretty cool. Hold on a second. I think they're all black. Andrew's yours black.
Mine's black.
Okay.
I'm black.
So what we're going to do is kind of unveil them and see what they are. Yeah, let's do it.
On three. 1, 2, 3.
It's black.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
It says Children's Place.
Cool.
Our low price.
John's got
Mine's
the Toys R Us.
Us.
Mine's a KB. KB Toys.
I got the Children's Place one.
Mine's been
three for
marked out
10.
again.
Yeah,
We got what it is. They're black shirts, and they've got
old they got
Toy
like
Store logos
discounted
on them.
price tags on them.
Discount price tags. Yeah, that's what I mean.
And this one has.
So
This one's double tagged.
Yeah, Toys R Us has been marked down twice.
Okay, so here's my question. So, Aaron, you'll have to let us know because I know you're a graphic designer. Did you design these, or were there something that you found? Either way, they're really cool. They get a little bit more of a cool factor if you did the design on them. But
I bet he did
right?
them himself. Yeah,
that's what I was just wondering. I was like, did he design these? 867-530.
867-530-9220.
You guys know what 867-530-9 is, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So mine's just missing the 9.
867.
Mine has a 9 in the next number. But those are cool.
So
these are really
it's
nice.
pretty cool. I like that, Aaron.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
What we'll do is we'll let him know we open them up before he gets to listen to this.
Yeah.
What we'll do is we'll send him a picture of us wearing it and send that to him. So
Yeah.
we'll do that for you, Aaron. But yeah, these are awesome, man.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Aaron.
Yeah, we like this. Yeah. So KB and Toys R Us and Children's Palace.
Yep. Children's Palace. I thought it said place for a minute, but it does says Palace.
I think it's
yeah,
Palace.
Palace. It's Palace.
They are.
That's
they're
just
all
me not
defunct,
reading letters.
Defunct toy stores. Yeah,
that's right.
Yep.
I mean, hopefully that's the only thing we get that's defunct around here. Is those,
Andrew, what was yours marked down
podcast.
to? What was yours?
It just says Arlo price
$8.99.
Mine's not actually marked down.
Mine's cheap.
Well, that was probably the markdown sticker for him.
Yeah,
mine was $8. Mine's $8.99. I've been marked down to 3 for $10.
I mean, that's about right. John, what's yours?
Well, I can't tell what the back one was, and then this one's marked down to $9.99, and then it's got an X through it.
So it's even cheaper than $9.99.
All right.
These are really cool. I like these.
Yeah, these are awesome, Aaron. Thanks.
I put it on right now, but they make too much weird noise.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I don't know. It's hard to go from there. Thanks, Aaron. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
We still have a toy line
Appreciate
to talk about.
Which probably got marked down a lot too.
Yeah. Probably did. And go ahead, Michael.
Oh, I was just sad. I don't think there was much out there to get marked down. They probably sold through, and that was it because nobody. Yeah.
Well, let's do this. Let's rewind and get into it and find all about these Faceables by Galoob. Right. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. So we're talking about the Infaceables. So the Infaceables Mystic Warriors of Change was a line that was released by Galoob in 1984. The line was a sister line to Black Star, which was Galoob's version of Motu figures. Actually, Black Star was out before Masters of the Universe, so we got that coming up down the pipeline here in a few weeks. We'll probably go over and discuss all of that. But there's actually more to Black Star than it is in Infaceables, but we did Infaceables first for some reason. So, but like I said, that's all for another episode with Black Star. But this is a sister line to that line as well. So, like I said, there wasn't much to this line. It only lasted 1 year. It had 8 figures. It had 4 good guys, 4 bad guys, and had 3 vehicles. The only articulation they had were arms at the shoulders and then the legs at the hips where the 2 legs moved. This line relied on a gimmick like most other 80s toy lines. So this gimmick gave the figures the ability to change their faces from human to beast. So what they did was the face was made of a rubbery material that actually covered an inner skull made of hard plastic. So the inner skull was shaped like a beast or an animal type shape. The figures would actually extend at the waist, and when you pulled them up, pulled the torso from the legs, it would actually suck the air out of the head. And when it did that, the rubber face would suck onto that skull, and it would form the shape of the animal with that face. So that was pretty much the gimmick of this line. Was it went from human to beast mode by just pulling the torso and the feet, the legs apart. So sucking that air out of his face. The big issue they had was once that wore out, that plastic or the rubber wore or deteriorated over time, it just left the figure with this skull looking face, and the face actually had holes in it where the air could get sucked out, and it would suck the rubber to the hard plastic. So when that's the rubber's gone, you see this white skull looking thing with all these holes in it for the air to suck out. So it's kind of creepy when you find them now. Not very many of them have survived over time because that rubber deteriorated pretty quickly. If you find any that are still carded, they go for a lot of money because that being in that card, it could possibly still work. But there's not any guarantee really after almost 40 years of it being in there.
Yeah.
So that was, like I said, that's the gimmick of this line. So, and the issues it had throughout time. So we can kind of break down each figure real quick, and the like I said, it's really quick on this. There's nothing really to them. It's maybe one of our shorter episodes.
Yeah. So John, here,
Yeah.
let me present this because I have some interesting shots for us to talk about. So we'll go through these or whatever. So this is a shot of this is the human version, Michael.
Yeah, some of these human versions, the faces, there's not really much to the face.
They didn't rub off.
No, I think maybe some of the like the one we're looking at here, he actually has a actually better looking face than what you're looking at there, Andrew.
Okay, so maybe this is just one that is a little bit older or whatever. So basically, what's up is it's a figure. It's got this you can see a nose. There's a couple eyes. I don't know if they're done by a marker or whatever, but it kind of looks like the just a blank man.
Mm-hmm.
Like the face kind of looks very, very blank.
If you go to
like yours, the mouth is gone.
A pretty good one, but yeah.
So here's another one. Oh, yeah, I guess this one has more paint on it, and this one's after it's
this
been
one.
In.
The one you're looking at there,
that one looks like it's missing the rubber.
It's missing the rubber, and somebody repainted his face.
Oh, okay. So that's what's going on in this one. Okay, because I did find like this guy. He's got the white skull basically because the rubber is missing.
Yeah, so the rubber is missing off of it.
I would say this actually looks pretty cool. If you didn't have the rubber on it, like if they went a different direction, like some kind of spooky pirates or something. I don't know. It's a cool looking skull. And then this one kind of also the skull the rubber's missing. So that's what mine are that I'd found there. So you can go back to sharing yours, John. And it's just like unpainted plastic. Molded plastic that just has some kind of face or whatever, but
yeah, it looks like when that rubber face peels off, deteriorates, what you have is like the hard plastic skull part, which looks like a animal, but what gives it the really creepy vibe is the holes, and it's white, and then you have the individual holes where the air sucks in and out. So, and there's actually, without those holes being there, it would actually be pretty good sculpting because I mean, if you're looking at face sculpts and stuff like that, the hard plastic skull part would be perfect for. They went pretty detailed with that just to make it look like an animal on these guys. And so what we'll do is we'll start with first. We'll go through the good guys here. So you have Iron Lion. He's the courageous leader of the good forces. He's a man, and he turns into a lion. He's a noble warrior and a gentle person. He transforms in battle to the snarling king of the jungle. His sharp fangs glisten as his strong muscles tense tense like a cat ready to pounce. With the seal of the lion on his chest and the cutlass of courage in his hand, which is a sword. He leads his warriors against the forces of evil. So now his beast mode is lion. He goes from man to lion. And some of these, just their human faces, they're kind of scary looking anyway.
Right. Yeah.
But once it gets sucked in, once you get that plastic around that detailed skull behind it, it actually looks pretty cool. So.
Yeah, the skulls and stuff look pretty cool, but like let me go to the right screen so I can roll down. But this is seeing his face in the deal.
Mm-hmm.
The mustache kind of throws me off, but that's actually his teeth when it goes to big.
Yeah, when he turns into a lion. That's his.
So the picture on the card, and then the picture on the card, I can see where the teeth are, but it just doesn't match. He doesn't have a mustache.
Yeah, they should have given him a mustache.
Yeah.
Because that would have made more sense, like the way it's painted.
Yeah.
He has a mustache and it's all good to go.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay, so next we have
without the deal on there, that's the sculpt.
Without the thing on it, he actually looks pretty terrifying.
Yeah, he does. So
I mean,
but he's from man to lion. Yeah, and he looks like some kind of Conan the Barbarian warrior type the way he's dressed
right.
and stuff too.
Yeah.
So, okay. So next we have Robash. He is super strong, good robot, out to bash evil. Robash is a robot programmed to protect the innocent. Let's see. Because he is a machine, he is impervious to the elements of nature and passing of the centuries. Through time, he will fight for justice with his super robot strength. When battling, his faceplate transforms to the image of a human skull, striking fear into the cold hearts of his enemies. So actually, when he transforms from robot mode to, he actually looks like a human skull. He looks like the robot guy off of Scooby-Doo. So,
he does. He looks like Robbie the robot.
Yeah, something like that. And where are you, Scooby-Doo? The original series. So that's what he looks like when he's running through the carnival there. So, but yeah, it's he's really spooky looking because he's got the human skull, so he goes from robot to human.
That's interesting.
So, right.
Yeah,
but it's just like his face is just a humanoid face.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't think a robot would be sucked up and then have a skull underneath it. So.
Yeah. So, okay. So the next guy we have is War Dog. So wildfighter and ally to the good forces. So War Dog is a powerful fighter with and a practical joker. His sense of humor makes him popular with the comrades. But when taunted or in danger, his wild temper prevails. His face is transformed to that of a vicious dog, and he is a whirlwind, brandishing a huge sword against the forces of evil. So he's got a sword as well. They all have one weapon with them. They all have their own weapon. Robash, he's got like some kind of malice type looking thing. So let's see.
His animal version in that on the card, the back of the card, reminds me of
War Dog.
The clowns from outer space.
Yeah.
He does look like it does look like the clowns from outer space is what his card art looks like.
I was thinking
doesn't look like a dog.
was like an evil clown.
Yeah. That's what he looks like.
And his belt buckle on his belt is like a skull with spider legs on it. So
it's what do you
call him? And he looks
spider
a scatula?
Scatula. There you go.
Yeah,
whatever they are from Zelda.
Zelda. Yeah. He looks like he can be from Egypt too, because he looks like he's got like a pharaoh type costume
headdress
on, but
right.
Yeah, the headdress and stuff, but he's not, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so next guy, the fourth guy in this group and the good guys is Sphinx, ancient champion of goodness who strikes like a cobra. So Sphinx is an ancient champion summoned from the Great Pyramid to join Iron Lion and the forces of goodness. In early times, he was renowned as an athlete of great skill and speed. Then he discovered the secret text, which brought him the power of the snake, the power to change his face to that of a cobra, and to strike with lightning speed and terrible poison. So this guy here is from Egypt, and you can kind of tell with his headdress too. He actually looks like that, like a sphinx, but he's a cobra. His face turns from human to snake face. So, I mean, I'm thinking Sphinx is like a cat, isn't it? Isn't that what the Sphinx is when you're looking at the pyramids and stuff out there? So I wouldn't think he would. I think he would be a cat with that name, but he's a snake. So
maybe there's
give him a different
maybe
name
there's a
or
Sphinx
something
that we don't know about.
Maybe so. If anybody knows a cobra-looking Sphinx, let us know. But I guess it came out. I guess Cobra was already taken with G.I. Joe, so they couldn't really do that. So, but he's a good guy, so that's a good thing.
There we go. Finally got a Cobra, a good guy.
Yeah, a Cobra snake, good guy. You know, snakes are always bad, so let's make them good this time around. Okay, so the bad guys. Let's look at the bad guys real quick.
Shout out to Dad. He'd put the Cobra in the bad guy range too.
All right, so we've got four bad guys. So the leader, Brainor, I guess call it Brainor. Yeah, the dark side strategist whose brain pulses with evil. So Brainor is the evil mastermind of the Infaceables, a scientific genius banished from another galaxy. He came seeking a world to conquer. The dome of his helmet reveals the evil pulsing brain of his as it directs the wicked army of prehistoric beasts. With his jagged star mace in his hand, he sets out to dominate the earth. So he's got a mace on as well. So you look at it at the top of his head, you can see his brain, kind of the sculpt of the head, top of the head. And then he just turns from human to alien looking skull. What his change is.
Real original.
Because he's from another galaxy. Yeah, he's from another galaxy. So
I was looking at his hands. Why would he need a mace when his hand is a mace?
I don't know. I was looking at. I think he's got little pinchers on the end of it too.
Interesting.
I guess or something. I don't know.
Weird.
Or maybe no, the mace fits in between it. So both his hands are round with spikes, and then he holds the mace in between it. That's what I was looking at. Yeah. So he really doesn't have hands. He's got these little balls with spikes with a little a place where you can put the mace in between it. Yeah. Okay, so now we have Timbo, mammoth leader of the dark side. So Timbo is the fierce general of the dark side, freed from his glacier prison by Braynor, and armed with an executioner's axe. He has rallied his prehistoric cohorts. With Braynor's wicked mind to plan his strategies, Timbo leads the forces of Darkseid in the war for control of the Earth. For battle, he bears the face of a monster, and his mammoth legs mercilessly crush everything in his path. So, Timbor is, I guess he's supposed to be half human, half man, half mammoth.
Walrus.
Because his legs are
was
look
about to
like
say,
elephant legs. And
yeah, but his
feet,
face looks
elephant
more
feet.
like a walrus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna go there too, John. So yeah,
but he's a water guy, so why would a mammoth be in
maybe
water?
mammoths like water.
Yeah, there's his face.
Why would he be
by the
water
way.
guy? Yeah.
I thought he was a water dude. Like
No, he's just a mammoth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where did water come from? I don't know.
Something I was reading.
Because he's blue.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean that makes sense. That's what we've been taught in video games.
He's
Most
blue.
of
He's got a yellow armor. He's got tusks
It looks
on
like he's got a
around
scuba.
his headpiece. Yeah, I mean it's just got a round hole where his face is at around his in his head armor. So, but yeah, he's a man to. It says monster, but he's more like a mammoth. That's what he's supposed to be. So, all right. So next we've got who we got? Tuscus. So Tuscus, you would think that would be like an elephant with tusks and stuff like that.
Or maybe a mammoth?
You would think so. But on the back of his card, it says Sabertooth Oceanic. I can't even say that today. I can't talk today. Sabertooth Oceanic Ogre of Darkness. So I was reading that. Yeah. So reading that, it says Sabertooth. So you think Sabertooth Tiger. Then you say Oceanic. I'm all, why does a Sabertooth Tiger need to be in the ocean? And then it's an ogre. I mean, why ogre? None of it makes sense. But he's a bad guy, so it's all that of darkness. So Tuscus.
Absolutely none of that makes sense.
No, it does not.
No.
So he's a heartless villain who bears the saber-like teeth of a prehistoric walrus. So it's like tusks, not teeth. But that's what the description says. What did I say? He's bears the saber-like teeth of a prehistoric walrus. He is a seasoned mercenary prepared to follow any leader who allows him to plunder his helpless victims. Clad in a bony shell of armor, the old brute conceals a ray gun in the tripod leg designed for him by the evil Braynor.
Okay.
So
based
that's
off
something
the card,
else he's got going on for.
Yeah, based off the card
Andrew.
art, it looks like when he transforms, he just scrunches his face up. I can do that easily. The only thing I can't do is turn my mustache, the sides of my mustache, into saber-tooth teeth.
Yeah,
so
that's what I mean.
His face doesn't change that much. It
doesn't. Card art, it looks almost the same.
Jagged. Yeah. He just looks mad.
Yeah.
But at least they gave him a mustache.
Yeah, they gave him a mustache.
And the white part, like a Fu Manchu, the white part turned into his teeth. Yeah.
At least they gave him a mustache
he's got,
as a
on the card art.
Humanoid.
Iron Lion doesn't have the mustache when he's a human,
Yeah,
but
he's
it's
weird.
actually on there on the figure. So it looks weird. So anyway, but the other thing this guy's got going for him is he's only got one leg. So his other leg is like a tripod mechanic thing that Brainor made for him. So, but he's got a laser that's in it, I guess is what it said. And then he's got a sword. He's got a sword with him. So he's pretty much got two weapons. He's got his sword and he's got his leg that has a laser in it. So
wait, his leg has a laser in it?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. He's got.
So he's got to hold it straight out.
Let me go back.
Yeah. Hold on. Just stay there. Hold on. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Got you with my laser. It's in my leg.
Yeah,
that's weird.
He conceals a ray gun in the tripod leg designed by Brainor. So it's a ray gun. That's what it is. Not a laser. It's a ray gun.
A ray gun.
Yeah.
Not a laser.
A ray gun. Yeah. This is from outer space. So yeah, he's all kinds of messed up. So so the last guy in this group is Torto the Claw. So I don't know what kind of name is Torto the Claw, but he's an armored beast menacing the dark briny deeps. So Torto the Claw terrorized ocean vessels with his crushing claw and hideous fish-like face until Robash imprisoned him beneath the ocean. There he stayed in the brine and seaweed and unable to move, but protected by his tortoise shell. With Brainor's help, Torto has escaped his watery jail and joined Timbo and Tuscus to wreak havoc on the world. So his face doesn't really change much either. It looks like it just kind of gets wrinkly. And according to the card art, his eyes change, but the rubber plastic on it doesn't change the eyes. I don't know. It just sucks it into the skull. So
Torto sounds like
these
a tortoise
guys
to me.
Right. Well, he said
he is. He's got a tortoise.
Is that what that is?
He's got a tortoise
it looks
shell.
more like
If
a
you look-
lizard.
Well, the front does, but you turn him around. If you look at his back, it looks like a turtle shell on his back.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you'd have to find a back picture of that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he's got a claw. He doesn't have a hand, or he's only got one hand. The other hand's a claw. I think he's got an axe that he carries with him too. So that's the figures. So, and those descriptions, it's not really much of a line to it. It's just some figures.
I mean,
now these guys, I don't think I said this. These guys are 6-inch, 5.5, 6-inch. They were designed to fit in with to go along with the Black Star figures, which was Galoob's message to, or Galoob's version of Masters of the Universe. So they kind of fit in with that range of figures. So you can actually use them with whoever you want in that area. So
it's a very interesting line. I think they got a few things mixed up as far as naming and what some animals are. They started off strong with the lion guy, but they didn't end very well. The gimmick, whoever came up with the gimmick, I assume that their idea was a lot better than what was actually done.
Right.
Yeah, the thought was better than the actual presentation once it's made. Yeah.
I mean, because if I heard it kind of sounds cool, just doesn't seem like like you said, the presentation and the execution of it didn't work as well as expected. That's what I assume.
Yeah.
So,
and to make it happen, all you do is just pull the waist and the upper torso apart, and it sucks that skin up against that skull, and so
Do they go as it goes back together? Does the
Face come
How
back
does
to
The
the
air
face
goes back
return
into the
back?
face. Yeah,
Is
the
it
face returns
slowly
because
or is
it
it
pushes the air back. No, it's pretty quick.
okay?
Right when you do it, all that air pushes back in there.
So you
That's
have
all it does.
to
Is
keep
when
them done. You
when
have
you
to keep
pull
them
it
apart.
apart. Yeah, you pull it apart and it sucks the air out, and when you push it back together, it pushes the air back into its head. So
They should have added
that's how the gimmick works.
They should have added a Reebok pump on the front of it that allowed you to pump it back up.
Yeah,
I mean, shoes did it. Why can't they do it with
Pump it
figures?
Right.
Okay, I don't want to have to pay royalties.
Man.
I don't know. What do you guys think about these guys? Like, what?
don't want to pump up the jam. I think they're cool, but if they, I don't know, if that rubber would have lasted over time, and these figures are still in good shape now, I think it would be a lot better. But that they said pretty much all the loose figures that rubber kind of disintegrated, and
You don't like. I can't find a
it
picture
no
of a
longer
loose one
works.
with the rubber.
No, there's
but-
almost nothing, no loose ones without it.
But I know He-Man had some of these, but where the face changes,
Yeah, it was flips,
all
like the
of
battle
these-
damage.
right?
Yeah.
All of these, their heads and their dress, whatever's around their head, is enough room to where they could have done something that flipped back and forth
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah, you
I
kind of
mean-
look at it, you would think it would, yeah, because it's all up inside those head armor pieces they all have on them.
So, I mean, they probably could have thought of something different. But I give them credit for trying. It just didn't.
Everything else had that kind of gimmick where the head switches. They wanted this is something different, and it just didn't work. So, I mean, as soon as you poked a little pinprick in it, it didn't work because there was no suction in there.
Right.
So
it's just a weird gimmick. I mean,
Yeah.
I give it to them. They tried something new and it didn't work. And Galoob, now is owned by Mattel. So, obviously didn't work very well for them.
it's Hasbro.
That's what I said. It's owned by Hasbro. And so, hey, that's what it is. Did you hear me say that? I didn't say Mattel. I said Hasbro. You said Mattel.
You said, never mind. Hasbro. Your Hasbro sounded like Mattel.
Yeah, that's what it is. It was probably distortion. It's cold here, so it's the chattering of the teeth and
okay.
the distortion.
It's your altitude. You're up. Yeah, okay.
All right. Well,
All
we
right.
need to rank these guys.
So, there's 3 vehicles. We hadn't talked about the vehicles yet.
Oh, there's vehicles. I didn't know there was vehicles.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought that's all we had was that. Let's talk about some. Did they have?
No,
face
there's 3
changes?
vehicles. No, they don't have any face changing on the vehicles. Actually, I think these 3 vehicles, when I read at one point, they were supposed to be part of Black Star, but they didn't make it into that line. So they put it with these guys. So there's 3 vehicles. There's the Incredible Thrasher. It's wheeling attack tank. It's got a soft spike ball that whirls around. All these have a trigger track action, which is actually just a squeeze grip handle thing. And so on the Incredible Thrasher, that's John's got a picture of. On the back, it's got this little squeeze handle. You squeeze it, and this little rubber spike ball whirls around in circles, trying to hit things. And then there's the Horrible Hammer. It is a roving attack tank, so it's a different tank. This one has a giant rubber-tipped hammerhead that swings down. So when you grab the handle, there's a little hammer thing that shoots down. It's like a catapult it's not shooting anything. It's just going all the way down and banging on stuff. And then you have the Crusher Cruiser. This is the bigger piece. It's a mobile command base, pretty much. It's got a giant gripping claw on the front. So when you squeeze the handle on the back, the claw, it looks like some big monster trying to eat things, mechanical monster eating things. And then the center part It opens up and you can put some figures in there, a couple of figures. It's like a storage
Okay.
type thing for a couple of figures as well. And then all three of these on the back where your handle's at that you hold, the figures, one figure can actually stand on the back while you're wheeling it around. So they all have rubber tires. Yeah, they all have rubber tires. There's high-tech styling and detail. And then it has that trigger track action, which was a squeeze grip handle on the back to make the things happen. The Cruiser Crusher was also released a year later. It was part of the Defense of the Earth toy line. So it was just kind of colored a little bit different stickers on it, but it was the same. They just reused it in a different line in 1985. So.
I think they even left it's the same name and everything too. I don't think there's
It's the same name, I think. Yeah, but I think there may be some color changes, but the same line as well. It's just a Crusher Cruiser. That's what it's called. So, but that's it. That's the basic, just as plain as you can get on a toy line, right there on an action figure line. So, but all right.
I mean, the vehicles seem kind of. I mean, at least they're cool little vehicles. I don't know. The little handle in the back is a little interesting, but kind of just grab your figure in there and get to play with it. So
yeah,
let's rank these real quick. We gotta drop these into our. We currently have 8 things on our ranking list. So, Michael, where does this fall for you?
I'm gonna put these. I would have been, like I said, I think they'd be a lot better if that rubber face would have not deteriorated and they were still kind of intact now, 40 years later. But I'm gonna put these guys. I'm gonna put these guys right in between the world famous Super Monsters and Zybots. It was also something that didn't have a cartoon, didn't have a comic book, didn't have anything else for it. That was it. It was just a toy line. Nothing else to it.
That's right where I thought you were going to put it, because that's where it just seemed like it made sense for you.
Yeah.
John?
Where do you think I'm going to put mine?
I think you're going under Guts.
It's exactly at 6.
At 6.
I'm going to push Zybots down.
Yeah, you push Zybots down and put another Guts. And then I'm not pushing Zybots down. These are going number 5 for me, right under Zybots. Wait. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. 1, 2,
I think these are cool. I'm with you on that, Michael. Like, if the gimmick would have been just a little better, and it worked a little better and lasted longer, I think it would have been cool. The vehicles are cool. The gimmick's a good idea. It just execution wasn't there for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's the word I was searching for a while ago. Yeah. The
Yeah.
thought was brilliant. I think that was a great thought process. The execution was not there. Yeah.
I'd like to see, these were Galoob. So is this still owned by Hasbro? Like they still have rights on this?
I don't know.
Because I'd like to see maybe they bring them back out.
Could be something else coming back later, like we're seeing all these other lines coming back.
All kinds of lines. We actually need to retouch base on a few in a coming episode just to talk about the new updated lines that are coming out with RoboForce.
I know I shot you guys a thing, but if anybody out there follows Pixel Dan, I noticed he had a post about the RoboForce new ones. So check those out. We'll probably have an episode for too long trying to updating on some of these lines that we've already talked about that have new releases coming or planned or have already come out.
The one specific that we know of, obviously Super Friends is already not Super Friends, Superpowers.
Superpowers.
Superpowers. We've already got hold of. We've seen them. RoboForce is re-releasing, and Biker Mice from Mars. We saw a post about those getting a re-release, and if I saw right, some new episodes for the cartoon. Did I read that right?
I think RoboForce has a new cartoon coming. I think, yeah.
Okay, that's
if
what
I
it was.
remember right. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see these things getting a new life. This would be one, along with John, the ones that you have with the holograms.
Mm-hmm. The Supernatural.
Supernaturals, that's what it is. That would be another one I'd like to see maybe get a rejuvenated, because great gimmicks, great ideas. Just let's get the execution right. We've got more technology now. We can do different things, I mean,
right.
Sneakers had to pump it up. So let's see if we can pump these up and maybe make it work. So Hasbro, you should call me. I'll help you. I totally didn't get you mixed up with Mattel. So yeah. Anything else you guys want to add about the Infaceables?
No, like I said, I think it would have been a cool line. Even if they had a cartoon or something with them, maybe it would have lasted longer than a year.
Yeah,
right. But yeah, there was nothing else there to promote it.
Did they suffer from a bad name?
Yeah, the name's not great either. Yeah.
Yeah, like
a lot of them now are called Unfaceables because the face is all created.
Infaceables become unfaceable.
By the way, so I didn't know that the faces were coming off on this, but I almost named our stream here "Face Off" before, and I wish I would have. Not that the guests see that or the listeners see that, but it's all funny. All right. Well, anything else we want to talk about?
Nope. I want to thank Aaron again for the shirts.
Yeah, thanks so much for the shirt.
I like this.
I'm gonna go. That's cool.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it a lot. Thank you, Aaron.
Yes, thank you.
We should send him some stickers. I'm sure he's got 100 of them. Yeah. So with that, thanks for listening to the Toy Rewind podcast. Go over to Cross the Streams Media and check out a bunch of our partner podcasts that we have over there. And just some good stuff. If you're there, be sure to leave us a voicemail. I do need to get with Larry and find out about the last few things. Sorry, Larry, it's been a bit hectic and stuff. So if you're listening to this, you're thinking, why haven't they reached out to me to ask me if I have any of these? It's my failure, not yours. Don't worry. It's not even John's or Michael's. It's completely mine because that's my job to reach out. I will do that tomorrow actually and see if we get some updated on the last few things we've talked about. And going forward. So leave us check out our social medias, do all that stuff. And thanks for listening. This has been episode 109 of the Toy Rewind podcast, where we talked about Infaceables. Michael tried to rip some faces off, but he was not able to. Anything else, guys?
I'm good. We're good.
All right.
On to the next toy line.
On to the next one. And on behalf of the Brothers Newland of the Toy Rewind podcast, play on.
You've been listening to the Toy Rewind podcast. Follow and join in the conversations at toyrewindpodcast.com.